How's it going, everybody? Ed Ricker here with the ViFly beacon in front of us. How many times have you crashed a drone, especially you FPV pilots, and it took you forever to find it in tall grass or, some other type of urban environment where you're not quite sure where it fell? Well, ViFly has been putting out beacons, or at least beepers, for a while. This is one of their latest renditions of their ViFly beacon. ViFly has a couple different versions out. There's other versions on the market too, but this is the first beacon that has motion sensing for crashing. And that's really what sets it apart from other stuff for me. I really didn't give their first beepers much attention, but this one right here is a whole different story. You can check it out here. It's powered, so it's got a battery here. This is a small LiPo battery. And then it has the beeper here, which is rated at over 100 dB, very loud. And then we have an LED light, which is good for visual finding of your drone. And also a micro USB port for charging this thing, as well as going through a couple different modes. When you plug it in, you can adjust the motion detection sensitivity level. Some of us FPV pilots, we really push our drones a lot. We do some intentional tricks that might cause this thing to activate its motion sensing alarm system. Intentional wall bonks, maybe some rough landings that didn't result in a crash. Or maybe I landed my drone real quick on concrete just to scratch an itch. Could be anything. Now, of course, with GPS-assisted drones like, either Mavic Phantom or talk about Autel Evo or any of these other GPS-assisted drones, you can find where they last were transmitting a GPS signal, but sometimes that's a rough estimate, and especially if the drone rolled or fell down a side of a mountain or something. Well, first of all, you can hope that the beeper or the beacon here actually stayed on the thing, but also this is going to help you pinpoint with more accuracy where exactly that drone fell. Now, especially in FPV, I probably wouldn't always use this beeper, but if I had a long range rig and I was really going out there and testing my range and there was a real risk of me losing this quad that I was flying, I would definitely have some sort of self-powered beeper and beacon system just like this. The instructions are pretty simple. I'm not going to say they're perfect instructions. It's kind of disjointed English, but you get the gist of it. Let's see. So how to activate. We press the button on the side here for, I'm going to say 2.5 seconds here. And there it is. Okay, so we have that LED light, very bright, and it beeped at us twice to tell us that it turned on. It beeps very quietly every few seconds. That's just to tell you that it's on. And when you start flying your drone, especially more than a couple feet away from you, you're not going to be hearing that. It's not going to be an annoyance. Your drone is going to be much louder. So now it's activated. Now we have to test this crash detection. So let's just... Oops, well, I don't want to touch it now. It's right over here. Fell right there. Okay. So you hear now there's only one beep. And that beep every 2 or 3 seconds is indicating that the motion detection has detected the crash and it's waiting 30 seconds for someone to pick it up. If it's more than 30 seconds, it assumes that your drone is lost. Woo! There it is. Jeez, okay, that is really loud. Woo, yeah. I would imagine my neighbors could hear that. It's really loud. Now it's going to do this continuously until the battery runs out, essentially. However, there is also a light detection, a light sensor in here, and it's detecting that it's a bright room. If I turn off the lights, we should see the LED start flashing. So let's try that now. All right, so we just turned off the lights in my room, and you can see that the LED is now joining the loud beeper sound for us to have both an audible and a visual beacon system here. Now, if we turn on the light again, that light stops blinking. So that's pretty great. It knows how to conserve battery the best it can, and only does one beacon system as necessary. All right, if we look at the instructions again, there is a stealing alert. So stealing function or stealing alert function will be activated when ViFly beacon enters the alarm status, which it's in right now. If detecting quick movement, it will beep continuously to warn the picker. So if I pick this up, it should squeal at me. Oh! And then we just hold the button for 2 to 5 seconds. All right, and then it beeped 3 times quietly to tell us it's off. Whew! All right, let's bring the camera back to center. So that is a really cool feature. You know, assuming that maybe someone who picks this up and hears it doesn't know how to turn off the beeper, or at least wouldn't figure it out right away. So to have that stealing function is actually pretty sweet. Now in the instructions, there's also motion sensitivity settings. So we can plug the micro USB into a power supply and hold the power button for 2 to 5 seconds. Then the LED will start to blink. And then you press the button shortly to enter a sensitivity setting. So that'd be great if you had this on an FPV quad. And like I said earlier, if you're intentionally flying aggressively, you could be adjusting the motion sensitivity. So here it says the alarm status is activated in 3 cases. The quad crashed, the quad is static for more than 5 minutes, or the flight time is over 40 minutes. If for some reason, I guess because no DJI or no consumer grade quad is going to fly more than 30 minutes even, if it doesn't sense anything from over 40 minutes, it'll start beeping and just assume that something's wrong. Right here are the specs, says up to 105 dB on the volume. It's only 6 grams, so not too heavy. Again, it's pretty small and the working time is 30 hours. You can charge it in 1.5 hours and it's got a little 80 milliamp hour LiPo. It's so cute. So yeah, it's a pretty cool little thing. Let's see some mounting options and see what we might be able to do with this, how we would fix it on one of our drones. So for the Mavic arm here, I mean, we could affix it to the back or something, but we could also affix it to one of the arms. So when you're able to fold it up, you're not going to hit it with the other arms as they fold up. You could fit it on the top, and that way you might be able to fit it into some of your cases easier. You can just get creative with it. If you're affixing it to a quad, like an FPV quad, you might want to take it one step further from just, you know, this small zip tie and this small piece of tape. You might actually use something like some epoxy gel and really get it stuck on there. Then it's not coming off as much. Some people have said glue gun, but I don't think it's going to stay, you know, unless you really wiggle it into your stack or something. So maybe using some amount of epoxy is going to help. Another thing you could do if you had some more shrink wrap is apply some silicone conformal coating to some of the components so this will continue to work even if it's wet. Now just avoid the micro USB, the button, and the emitter part of the beeper. Don't get conformal coating into any of that, but you can kind of at least address some of the circuitry here, and that might help if your drone falls out of the sky because of a rain shower or something. I've always thought about that. It's like, what if my quad starts, you know, getting rained on and I'm a mile away? That would really suck. Here's the ViFly X150. I could probably put it on the top of the entire stack here and maybe use a little bit of epoxy and maybe get it somewhere around, maybe reroute some of the parts of the receiver and get it right there on top. Or maybe I could, let's see, I might be able to zip tie it or do it something in the back there so that if I do have a front, like a head-on collision, it's not going to damage the beeper. I'm not going to lie, it's not the easiest thing to fix to a quad or something like this, but when you're self-powering a beeper with a LiPo, it's just not going to have a nice, you know, completely flat edge to really stick down with some tape or something. So thank you to ViFly for sending this to me. As far as I know, it's the first motion sensing or motion activated beacon system for a drone. Very, very cool. Having an audible system like this that's powered independent from the drone's power system is, I think, a really cool idea. And it's only 6 grams. And before I let you all go, I'm giving away 3 of these. All you got to do in the comments below, type hashtag ViFly and tell me what drone or quad you intend to use this type of beeper, this beacon on. I'm interested to hear your options and your thoughts. Take care, everybody, and until next time, well, happy flying.